Testing. Alright, that's working. Hooray. It is nice when things work. Alright, alright, alright. Okay. Making sure that all this is ready to go. And then we can begin. Today is going to be pretty straightforward. I would not be surprised in the slightest if all we were doing today was just fighting the boss of the castle. But we'll have to see. But anyways, hello everybody, how are you all doing today? Hope you're all having a very awesome day today. I know I'm having a pretty decent day. You know, could be better, definitely could be worse. It could always get worse. No matter what you think, it could always get worse. You're cold. Well, like I said, it could always get worse. So, be happy with what you've got for right now. It's actually supposed to be pretty cold here, but it seems like we're having a bit of a late winter this year. So, I'm not really going to complain too much. But yeah. I am glad that it's not too cold, because I still need to buy myself some gloves for whenever I go outside, because every time that I come home from work, and it's like really cold outside, if it's below 30 degrees, I come home almost bawling my eyes out because of how much my hands are in pain. So, for those of you who don't know, you should get yourself some nice gloves for this winter season, because if it gets really cold, oh, you don't want to worry about frostbite. Same goes with a scarf. You really want a scarf, and you really want to wrap it around your ears, sometimes even your nose, because those two places don't receive a lot of blood flow. And well, you don't want your ears falling off, do you? You don't want to have like holes in your ears or holes in your head where your ears used to be. At least I don't. I don't know about you guys. I personally don't want holes in my head where my ears used to be. Although then again, the head does have a lot of holes when you think about it. I mean, you've got the jaw, or I guess I should say you've got your mouth, you've got your nostrils, you've got your eye sockets, and finally your ear holes. Anyways, why don't we just get started here? Now, I do apologize. I am definitely coming down with something. I don't know what. Probably because of the cold, because I do go out in the cold a lot. It does not help the fact that people at work like to leave the back door open when doing, outside activities, whatever they may be. And it leaves the back of house rather cold, which kind of sucks. Unfortunately, I am not their boss. There's nothing I can do about it. So I just have to sit there and, take it like a man. Even though it is very cold sometimes. But yes, I am coming down with something, so I do apologize if my voice seems a bit off, or if, I need to go and blow my nose for a second. I don't think I do, but hey, you never know. Anyways, yes, we're back at Redmane Castle. We were going to fight the boss yesterday, but knowing my luck, it would take a while to defeat them. So I figured, why not just end the stream here? Because I was getting tired anyway. And now, we can spend like the next 3 hours or so fighting this boss. Hopefully you don't take 3 hours. Like, it would be godsend if we could somehow manage to kill this thing on the first try. But I don't even know what's back here. So we're going to experience this for ourselves the very first time. Misbegotten Warrior. Oh, we fought one of these things before. Granted, I don't know how successful we're gonna be. Uh-oh. Okay. That didn't last long. I will say this, though. Um, this enemy is not very strong. What I mean by that is I only, hit them like 2 or 3 times, and it dealt a lot of damage. A lot more than I was expecting it to. The reason why I'm so surprised is because if we look at the dragon that we encountered yesterday, and keep in mind, this isn't Khalid. Khalid enemies are rather difficult. And that dragon we encountered yesterday was, quite powerful. And it was also very sturdy. And yet here, with this boss, I only dealt a couple of hits to it. And it was already, we took a good portion of its health out. If I can remember how to do this. There we go. Yeah, sometimes I forget buttons. As you guys can tell, sometimes I forget buttons. Oh, okay. Okay. That did not go the way I was expecting it to. Personally, I thought that I would be able to dodge that overhead attack that it did. Although, to be fair, the fact that it became suspended in air as it was jumping was a little unexpected, to say the least. In a traditional sense, when something becomes airborne, it usually comes down rather quickly. And not in this case. It stays in the air longer than you'd think. But it's okay. And honestly, I don't mind if I lose my runes because it's only 777, which isn't a lot. And it's a good thing that we, used our runes to level up last time. So, that is nice. Damn, okay. I see. Uh-oh, I'm out of health. Well, I am out of health now. I was out of stamina. I think I'm gonna actually stick to my shield. Because, yeah, I can deal more damage with this. But I think I'm gonna go back to using the, what was it called? The Bloodhound. And in addition, I want to keep track of my deaths today. I forgot to yesterday, and I want to keep track of it now. So we've already died 3 times. I'm going to get that fixed up here. And in the meantime, also change up my equipment again. Even though we just changed it. Yeah, I forgot how fast these things are. The Misbegottens. Like, even though that they are... Actually, I wouldn't even call them big. But they also have long limbs. In addition, they usually have pretty long weapons. So they have a good bit of range, It's hard to really escape from their attacks. So you've really just got to, be dodging them. Ooh, okay. Yep, as you can see, very, very long reach. I thought I was actually out of range there. That's why I was backing up. But hey, it's okay. These first few runs are always the test runs. That's what we do. Granted, I keep dying before we can actually get a good test run. Because I like to learn what, these enemies are capable of. Because, I want to see what I have to look forward to. What their movesets are, how to dodge them, and all that. Sometimes they kill me before I can do that, as you can see. And we did lose our runes, but like I said, I'm not worried about losing them, since it was so few. I do believe that I can make this thing bleed. And if I can, that would be awesome. However, this is a boss, so bleeding might not really be an option. We'll just have to... Wait, hey, 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 wait, wait, no, no. No. That ain't right. No! No, 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 no. Oh God. No. Bro, I couldn't move. Okay, this is my first duo boss. Oh my God. That explains why this Misbegotten is so weak, because, oh look, there's another enemy to fight. Oh my God. See, it wouldn't be so bad if it was another Misbegotten, because, you know, at least I would know how to deal with it. But no, they decided to throw at us a different kind of enemy. One that we also have to learn how to deal with. Yeah, that's... Oh, this is gonna be a load of pain. Nothing but pain and agony. Dealt a good bit of damage right there, though. That's good. We like... Ooh, okay. I was gonna say, we like doing a lot of damage, but... And then we got a lot of damage dealt to us. We've already died 6 times. How long has the stream been running? It's been running for 13 minutes. So we've been fighting this thing for about, I don't know, like 10 minutes or so, at least. So in the past 10 minutes, I have died 6 times. That's crazy. Now, I hope that we can at least get that Crucible Knight back onto the playing field before we reach double digits in our deaths. That would be nice. I swear to God, if there's another boss, I'm going to be livid. Because this one is already annoying enough. Uh-oh. Yep. God damn. I did not dodge well enough. I wasn't expecting the boss to do another jump, though. In my defense, I was not expecting it to do another jump. God damn, we're doing terribly. We only just started. But this is exactly why I did not try to fight this boss yesterday, because I knew that something like this was possible, and I didn't want that to happen. And here I am thinking, oh yeah, maybe there's a chance that I could fight this boss on the first try. Nope, that didn't happen. Instead, we're getting our butts kicked here. Uh-oh. Somehow I managed to avoid all that. Oof, that was close. Uh-oh. Yeah, I want to get him back over here. Wait, it's on a timer? It's on a timer? It's not health-based? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, and he is affected by blood loss. That's huge. That's huge. That's good. That is good to know. Okay, so we learned two things here. This boss is indeed affected by blood loss, which is an amazing thing, because as you've seen, it deals a lot of damage. Second, Crucible Knight does not come into play with the loss of life on the Misbegotten. It is on a timer. I don't know how long this timer is. I believe it's about 1 minute from what I've experienced so far. And if that's the case, I need to do as much damage as humanly possible against the Misbegotten so that I can just, kill it that much faster. Yeah, I need to get rid of the Misbegotten ASAP. Uh-oh. Damn. Yep, saw that coming. Ow. Uh-oh, I'm trapped. Yep, I couldn't have done anything there, being real. There really wasn't anything I could have done. Yeah, and the fact that Crucible Knight has such a quick spawn rate is kind of scary. And I think that the Crucible Knight is actually both on a timer and triggered by the amount of damage dealt. Because I don't think that fight lasted a minute. So I believe one of two requirements has to be met. Either the fight lasts for 1 minute, or you deal so much damage to the Misbegotten. That is what triggers the Crucible Knight. From what I've gathered so far anyway. Because yeah, that last fight didn't last very long. God damn, okay. Unfortunately, that was our 10th death. That's crazy. That did not take very long. We've reached 10 deaths in 18 minutes. 18 minutes of screen time, we've already reached 10 deaths. This is going to take a long time. But still, I feel like if I can kill off this Misbegotten, this fight will be much easier. I don't know anything about the Crucible Knight, because, I haven't fought him yet. But he's a very human character, so I'm hoping that he's going to be relatively easy to read, because all human characters are pretty easy to read. That's all I can do to hope, though. Oof. That was a little scary there. Nice. Alright. Oh, I was trying to dodge. Failed. There we go. Okay, I've got to back up and heal. Nice, okay. Misbegotten is dead. Yay. Now I've got to deal with this guy. Wait, I've fought you before. I know this guy. I have fought him in an Everghoul. He is a little bit annoying to deal with because of that shield of his. He can break my stance, so I've got to be careful. And I've got to calm down. My heart is beating so hard. I need to... Okay. Okay. I think I'm ready now. Okay. So I believe this guy is affected by blood loss. The only problem here is that he does not like it when we heal, and he is a bit hard to combat because of his armor. He has some very crazy armor. It would be better if I had a lighter weapon. As you can see, I do not have, you know, the lightest of weapons. Oh, okay. Yep, that did not go over well. We've already used over half of our flasks. Yeah, as you can see, the armor absorbs a lot of damage, but he himself does not have a lot of health. So, it'll still take a while, but, you know, that is something. Oof. Yeah, each of his attacks do hit hard. So you know, you have to be careful. And you have to make sure your attacks hit. Unlike what mine just did not do. Alright. See, I might actually know of a good way to try to hit this guy. I don't know how well it's gonna work. It did not work out too well. Yep, I saw that coming. Like, this guy does not like us to heal. If we get too much distance between us, he will charge at us, which does suck. But hey, we killed the Misbegotten. Unfortunately, it's gonna come right back, which sucks. It'd be cool if all I had to do was deal with the Crucible Knight. Let's see, what I think I'm gonna try doing is, since his armor is absorbing a lot of damage, I think what I need to do is use a different type of weapon against him. So, yeah, unfortunately, it is going to mess with my loadout here. But I do believe that striking is going to be my best bet. Okay, so yeah, that still puts us at a heavy load. So, we are going to have to... we're gonna have to take the risky path and not have a shield. Granted, this will allow us to do more damage, but it is still a very dangerous move to not have a shield against these guys. Let's just hope that this works out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Damn it. Okay. I thought I was gonna avoid that. Unfortunately not. But hey, at least we managed to bring the Crucible Knight back. So at least, you know, we didn't lose too much progress. Unfortunately, we didn't kill the Misbegotten, so we did kind of backtrack a little bit. Yeah, if I can manage to stagger the Misbegotten again, that would be awesome. Granted, it does take a good bit of effort to do so, but we've done it before. We could definitely do it again. And yeah, getting some blood loss going is going to be a huge help. Oh, damn it. Yeah, dodging that attack is a little bit difficult. Especially when I'm in the middle of an attack. Simply because, you know, you cannot interrupt your own attack, as, you know, you've probably already noticed. So, if he goes to do an attack, and, you know, you're still busy doing your own, you're probably gonna die. At least I'm probably gonna die. You know, if you've got someone else who has actually worked on their vitality, unlike me, maybe you'd have a better chance. Then again, I also don't have a shield. So that also does not help. I could block with the sword, but its a sword's defensive capabilities are, you know, subpar. Okay, that was interesting. I was trying to use my special attack, but it just didn't work for some reason. Odd, but it's whatever. Okay, I just have to try again. We've died 14 times, and we haven't even been playing for half an hour yet. That's crazy. This just proves that I am probably one of the worst Elden Ring players, but hey, that's not gonna deter me from kicking this guy's butt. No matter how long it takes, I will kick it again and again until both of these guys are dead. Uh-oh. Yeah, I need to heal up real quick. Uh-oh. I am out of stamina. No! I missed the critical hit. That sucks. Anyways, you can go away. We don't want that. We don't want people like that here. Yeah, I thought I was actually going to be able to kill that guy. I did not. Yeah, if I had gotten the critical hit, I probably would have killed him because, you know, as soon as we saw that we could get the critical, we also got the blood loss. So combining blood loss with the critical would have been enough to kill him, or at least very close to it, which would have been amazing. See, that's why I like this blade, because blood loss is an awesome feature. It is an awesome status effect, which is not usually something you get to have against bosses. So when it does work against bosses, that is awesome. Damn it. I can't recover. Not properly. God damn. I wasn't given a chance to recover. He just kept on coming. Yeah, and as you can see, we deal basically no damage to the Misbegotten, but the Crucible still spawned. I still don't think that was a minute, though. Was it a minute? I don't know. I don't think that was a minute. Either way. Yeah, when all we're doing is dodging against the Misbegotten, not even dealing damage, it's not very good. Because, again, we need to kill the Misbegotten ASAP, so that we're not dealing with two bosses. Which is also why I like to stay near this entrance, because then it takes the Crucible Knight that much longer to reach us. Uh-oh. Here we go. Alright, yeah, I'm starting to learn its attacks. No! Damn it. Yep, I am not where I want to be right now. I've got to really just back up here. Because that was not a good place to be in, right there. Damn it. I was trying to dodge. Failed. Alright, we've almost got him. There we go. Okay. Misbegotten is taken care of. Now, let's use our strike weapon. I believe strike weapons are better against enemies like this. You know, enemies that are kind of resistant to, you know, being blocked. Or not being blocked. Resistant to, you know, slashing. Okay, so that does 85. I actually don't think that that was a difference. So let's try this one again. Yeah, I can only hit him as a counterattack, which does kind of suck. Uh-oh. Whew. That was close. Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. I shouldn't have done the shield counter. That's kind of what killed me there. Because as you saw, I was on full health, and then I wasn't. So, yeah, that just happened. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that we managed to defeat the Misbegotten, despite the situation we were in. But that's the exact reason why I try to kill him first, because if I try to focus on the Crucible while the Misbegotten is on the board, I am not going to be having a good time. And because this weapon isn't really any better than the Bloodhound, I'm just going to get rid of it so I can have a shield again. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm still working on my endurance so that I can have a better equipment load. So I can eventually have a bigger shield, which not only covers you more, but also absorbs more damage, which is really just a win-win. Uh-oh. I thought I was about to die right there. Uh-oh. I'm dead. Yep. I ran out of stamina and I was like, oh god. Now it does help that I have the stamina charm to help me recover stamina faster. Because as you just saw, it recovers really quickly. But when you don't have stamina, there's not much you can do in a fight. Like, you know, even dodging is difficult. And you can't really block, because if you block, you're just going to have your stance broken, and that leaves you open for a counterattack. And that would suck. Because that would probably one-shot me, if I had to take a guess. Because, you know, I haven't worked on my vitality, I think, at all in the entire time that I've been playing this game. So, yeah, probably getting hit with a counterattack would spell my death. Especially with how much damage these guys do. Like, by no means are these guys weak. Nice. Uh-oh. I can't. Why am I not locked on? Yeah, that was not good at all. Damn, I can't see. Uh-oh. Yep. Yeah, that was not good for me. There was a lot of bad things happening there. Because after we got that counterattack, I was no longer targeting the Misbegotten. And then I got trapped in the corner. So, yeah, that was not good. I don't know why it stopped targeting. Because like the game does that sometimes. The game will just stop targeting your opponent for whatever reason, and it really messes things up. I mean, like, why am I gonna untarget something in the middle of fighting it? It is very rare that I will ever stop targeting something. In fact, I don't think I've really ever just purposefully untargeted an enemy, because I think that not having an enemy targeted makes it a little bit difficult to, avoid certain attacks, or pretty much all attacks, really. Alright. Uh-oh. Yep. He backed away, and yeah. That was a good play on his part, even though it's just an AI. He backed away, and that just caused me to die. God damn, we're already on 20 deaths. That's insane. Yeah, like that screen is saying, I would do guard counters, but guard counters are kind of difficult. They're not, I should say they're not difficult, but when your enemy has a very quick recovery, it makes them more of a hindrance than anything. Because if you go for a guard counter, then you're going to be left open. And as you can see, that also deals a bunch of stamina. It gets rid of a lot of stamina. Oh my goodness. And yeah, now I can't do anything because I don't have stamina. No! Why? Oh crap. Yep. A lot of bad things were happening there. I kept running out of stamina. Like, I need more stamina in my fights. It's also because I was focusing a lot of not a lot of hit points, a lot of my leveling up points into strength, dexterity, and eventually faith. Because the only reason I put it in faith was so I could have a holy weapon for those times that I might need a holy weapon. Wait a minute, wasn't the Crucible Knight? Oh shoot. If I remember correctly, Crucible Knight's actually going to be a very painful enemy to fight. Because if I remember correctly, let's see. Yep. I finally remember Crucible Knight. Yes, this fight is going to be a lot more difficult than I was expecting. Mainly the Crucible Knight. Like, the Crucible Knight is honestly the more scary of these two. I don't know if I've ever streamed me fighting Crucible Knight, but yes, once we get to a certain part in Crucible Knight, he becomes like stupid powerful. God damn. Like, we survived with like 1 HP there. Damn, how did I get hit there? Like, I haven't even been dealing any damage to this thing. Dang it. I'm gonna die. Like, I am missing so many opportunities here. Yeah. That was a really bad run, in my opinion. I don't really know why I messed up so badly. I think I just wasn't really able to get a hit in. I feel like I would do... Dang it. Okay, it looks like the stream is still going good. Yeah, my connection was starting to malfunction there a bit. But I think we're alright. It looks like we're alright, so let's just keep going. We'll pretend that didn't happen. Because unfortunately, there's not too much I can do about network issues. Not right now, anyways. But hopefully in the future, we might be able to make a difference. Hopefully. Oops. I'm going the wrong way. Uh-oh. Yeah, I kind of saw that one coming. You know what? That's okay. I'm not really too upset about that one because the Crucible Knight just spawned and we dealt very little damage to the Misbegotten. Like, by the time the Crucible Knight spawns, I want to have dealt about half of the Misbegotten's health. And if, you know, if we don't deal that much, you know, if we deal, let's say, you know, as much as we did, it's going to be rough. You know, I actually wonder, what is like a good way to fight the Crucible Knight? Because I don't even think the Crucible Knight is weak to, or has any resistances, or sorry, what I should be saying is I don't think that the Crucible Knight has the ability to be affected by blood loss. It would be nice if he did, but I don't believe he does. Oh wait, hang on. So apparently he's actually not resistant to it. So if I was to play my cards right, I could actually use blood loss against him and hopefully deal some damage. Because he does have resistances to some status effects, but not to blood loss. If I can, you know, pull off a lot of hits in succession, I might be able to do something. There we go. Nice. Uh-oh. Come on. Gotta heal. Damn it. Bro, use your attack. What was that? What? Bro, my character didn't even hit him with that special attack at all. Like, oh my god. Yeah, that's kind of what caused me to die right there. Because I could not land that special attack. And it just left me wide open. And of course the Crucible Knight decided to deal the finishing blow. Bro. This Misbegotten is kind of annoying. But I think it's mostly because I need to get better with dodging. I mean, like, there are some days when I'm, like, awesome at dodging. And then there are those days when I'm just not. I guess this is one of those days. I think I'm getting better, though, with the dodging. But there are plenty of times when he does hit my shield. Oh. And somehow I got hit there. Trying to dodge. Because I need to heal. Bro, what? Alright, come on. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now I need to get out of here. Because I don't know where the Crucible Knight is. And he's right behind me. Actually, I might be able to finish off the Misbegotten here. Uh-oh. No! Oh my god. Are you serious? I thought I was out of range. Bro, go away! No! Oh my goodness, okay. Come on. Just are you serious? He was one hit. And I could have like dealt with the Crucible Knight if the guy would just die. Come on. Oh my goodness. Yes, and I have to add it to my death counter. We've died 26 times. That's insane. This is so annoying. It's so stupid. Like, I don't even know how I didn't kill the Misbegotten. Like, I definitely should have been able to kill him there, but I just couldn't land that last hit. That last hit is what I needed, and I could not make it land. Oh, okay. Alright. No! Yep. Saw that coming. Yeah, if I miss that charge attack, I'm basically dead. Just because it deals so much damage to, you know, miss. If I miss that attack, it leaves me wide open. And yeah, that's, it does a lot of damage if I get hit there. Now, what would be cool though is if I had a lighter equipment weight, it meant that I could move around more with that attack, but I seriously doubt it. The reason I try to land that attack so much though is because it's not going to really work against the Crucible Knight. In addition, as you can see, it really helps with staggering the Misbegotten. So if I can stagger him, you know, that just does more damage. Assuming that I don't accidentally take him out of the staggered state by attacking him again. Because that has happened more times than I would like. Are you kidding me? Yep, like I said, if I miss that attack, I'm dead. And somehow, even though he was right on top of me, I missed and I died. Time to make another grave for me, for yours truly. God damn. This guy. I have a feeling like the Misbegotten doesn't like me. You know, I get that feeling like the Misbegotten really does not like me. That's why he keeps killing me in the most ludicrous ways possible. Nah, they're like, how have I been missing the special attacks? They're like, that's crazy. Come on, I'm better than this. Let's go fight this thing again. Uh-oh. Are you serious? You see, this is becoming a pattern. Like, if I miss that dash attack, I am guaranteed to die. That's what it seems like anyways. If I miss that attack, I will die. That seems like a good way to predict what's going to happen in like the next 2 seconds. If I miss the charge attack, I'm gonna die. So yeah. I for a second I thought I wasn't going to die. I thought that I would be able to recover, and then I didn't. So, unfortunately, we're back to where we started. Now, it would be cool though if you did kill one of the bosses that you wouldn't have to worry about it again. Unfortunately, this is a video game, so they're just gonna keep on coming. Uh-oh. Are you serious? How? Yeah, just kill me. I wouldn't even say that they're that brutal. I mean, I am on the weaker side. You know, my vitality, my health could be better. But I keep missing such, like, simple attacks. And sometimes I miss the critical hits. Like, a lot of these are definitely my fault, but I don't understand why they are my fault. Like, somehow I miss some of these attacks. And I don't really know how I'm missing them exactly. Because if I knew how I was missing them, I would, I would change up what I'm doing. But I don't know how I'm missing, which is the problem. Uh-oh. I've got to recover. Uh-oh. There we go. Nice, we got the blood loss. Damn it. There we go. It's not gonna kill him, unfortunately. Uh-oh. Yep. That doesn't surprise me. Trapped in the corner. Very little health. Yeah, that was natural. Unfortunately, again, the Misbegotten was like one hit away. Of course. The Misbegotten is... It's the aggressive of these two, which is what makes it difficult because it already has a lot of attack power. I mean, as you can see, it is easy to get a hit in because while it is aggressive, it has large windows of opportunity. Unlike the Crucible Knight, where you can really only get one hit in. In addition, the Misbegotten does get, they get a little bit stunned with most hits. Unlike the Crucible Knight. You know, the Crucible Knight will just stand there and take it. He takes it like a man. Uh-oh. Are you serious? Nah. Yep. Like I said, if I miss that attack, we're dead. Granted, we didn't die because we missed the attack, but we missed the attack, which predicted that we would die. So far, that has not been incorrect. Then again, it's not like we succeeded. as long as we are still here, we have not succeeded. You know, honestly, all this fighting kind of makes me want to go fight that dragon again, the Scarlet Rot Dragon. Granted, I am probably still going to lose. Wait, what the heck just happened there? I'm probably going to lose a lot because most of its attacks are basically one shot. And if I'm not careful, I will end up getting Scarlet Rot, which will, in turn, end up, one-shotting us. Uh-oh. Ooh, that was close. I missed the dodge there, and I thought I was gonna die. Uh-oh. Damn it. Bro. Yep. I saw that Crucible Knight spawn and I kind of panicked. Yeah, like if I just stand there dancing around with the Misbegotten, I'm going to die. Because eventually the Crucible Knight will spawn, and now I've got 2 enemies to deal with. So that's why I keep saying I need to kill the Misbegotten as soon as possible, or else I'm not going to be able to win. Because as we've seen, it takes the Crucible Knight a second for them to reach us. So if I can kill the Misbegotten before the Knight reaches us, we're fine. Which is why I try to get the Misbegotten to at least half health by the time the Knight spawns in. But as we've seen, sometimes that's just not really an option. Damn it. Are you serious? I hate it when he does that. Yep. Okay. And it's not like I could really do much more than try fighting these guys over and over again. Because, according to some people, the other piece to that Grand Lift, I forgot what it was called. Dectus, I think? The Grand Lift of Dectus. Supposedly the other piece is in this castle. And if I had to take a guess, I have to kill the bosses in order to acquire this other piece of the medallion. So, if I want to continue with the story, I have to kill these guys. Excuse me. To my knowledge, anyways. I don't know if this is true. This is just to my knowledge. Come on. Here we go. Nice. Yes, we got critical, and we've got blood loss right there. That was huge. And we're dead. Okay. Even though we actually managed to land all the attacks, we still died. Okay. I wonder, what can I do to actually, like, better myself here? Because, honestly, having a status effect for this boss, as we've seen, is super helpful. Because sometimes we've actually managed to inflict blood loss twice, which is insane. I'm just trying to think, what can I do to make myself better? Honestly, the only thing I can think of is better my dodges. Because, like, goddamn, I cannot hit my attacks. Nice, okay. I gotta heal, gotta heal. No, why did you use 2? Oh my god. Are you serious? Oh, we're dead. We're so dead. Yep. Did he even get hit with blood loss at all? I don't think he got hit with blood loss. Which was kind of annoying. I don't remember if he did or not. He probably did. I just don't remember if he did. Alright. Okay, the trash people just came by. Now I can get rid of this heaping pile of trash in my room. It's just been coming from computer parts. So, I've just been kind of wanting to get rid of it. And I really don't like putting trash in a trash bin that is just overflowing. So now I can go out there after the stream is done. Uh-oh. Yep, I missed the dodge. There we go. Nice. Okay, and we got the blood loss, which is very good to see. Yeah, let's get this guy over here. Are you serious? I forgot that his roar actually kills you, or that it actually does damage. Yeah, there aren't very many sound-based attacks in this game, but the ones that are just really annoying. And the weird thing about sound-based attacks is that you can block them, which I don't like that you can do. I mean, yes, obviously that just means you don't have to take that damage. But you can't block sound with the shield. That's not how that works. Cause yeah, like some of the overgrown bats, they will use, you know, their echolocation to deal damage to you, which in turn you can block. But it's like, why can I block this attack? Uh-oh. Yep. Yep, I saw that coming. Like I mentioned before, if you get your stance broken, you're gonna die. At least I'm going to die because, again, my vitality sucks. Actually, I don't even think it's called vitality in here. I think it's called vigor. Yeah, vitality was Bloodborne. I believe it's called vigor in here. I don't remember. I don't really care. It means the same thing. It's my health. Dead 38 times already? Jesus. We've only been playing for an hour. That is the equivalent to one death every, no, that's actually more than one death every 2 minutes. Holy crap. We're doing abysmal right now. Like, holy crap. Or wait, no. I think I got my math wrong. I don't remember because I can't focus on doing math in the middle of a fight. Nice, okay. And we did blood loss as well. So that's a good bit of damage done right there. Uh-oh. Okay, we at least survived that little onslaught right there. Oh, and we got another critical. Okay, this should be it. And we got the blood loss, so that was just a guaranteed win right there. That is nice to see. We like to see that. Okay, finally, this fight has become less aggressive, but that does not mean this is easier. Because it is harder to hit the Crucible Knight. And you're about to see exactly why I hate the Crucible Knight. Assuming I can get him down to that much health. Because again, he does do a lot of damage. And if you try to heal, he's going to make you regret it, to say the least. Uh-oh. Like I just said, he does not like distance. If you try to get distance, he will do that. Uh-oh. Yeah. Thankfully, even if an attack is blocked, status effects are still built up. To my knowledge. I don't know if that works with bosses. I know it works with the player character, though. but that does not mean I'm gonna just keep striking his shield. I am hoping that blood loss actually works on him, and we're not just, you know, smacking him. Damn it. Yeah, I need to make another attack on him so I can keep the build-up going. Uh-oh. Yeah, I gotta heal. No! Damn it! Yeah, like I said, every time we try to heal, he goes in for the attack, which kind of sucks. And we haven't even dealt any damage to him for a little bit, so he probably doesn't have any more blood loss build up, which really sucks. Oof. Gotta be careful there. But we are dealing damage, so that's good. Nice. We like to see that. We like to see those numbers. Uh-oh. Nice. Nice. Okay. Okay, we're actually doing decent. Because I fought this guy before, I kind of know how to fight him. But again, he will... Okay, yep. He will become much more difficult before too long. Yeah, I should have landed an attack there, but I didn't. That's my bad. Nice. Alright, we're doing alright. We're doing alright. We've just gotta, you know, keep this up. So it does not look like he is affected by blood loss, though. Or else I think that he would have gotten blood loss by this point. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just what I think. Oof. Damn it. Of course. And that was the last time we can heal. Damn it! Are you serious? God damn. Yeah, we've definitely lost this fight. Which is that one mistake we lost. Yep, this is phase 2. Yeah, and this fight, obviously, it just became a whole lot harder. Yep. I thought I dodged in time. I did not. And honestly, his second phase isn't even too bad. It's not too different. But the chances to hit become significantly less. Because he also gains a second move. You know, in addition to the other one that he just had, that diving move. He also gains an attack that does a spinning attack whenever you get behind him. And then he has a phase 3, which does his spinning attack, which covers the entire fighting arena. I don't know how I'm going to deal with that. I'll just have to dodge accordingly and hope that I don't get hit, because I mean, yes, you can block the attack, but it's very risky, because he did on his third phase, the spin attack that he does it twice. And if you are in range of the first attack, it will break your stance. And if you end up, you know, getting hit by the second tail, or the second spin attack, which he uses with his tail, which he does, yes, he gains a tail. If you get hit by that second attack, you are definitely dying. And keep in mind that this guy's going to be harder than the one I fought before. Again, I don't know if I streamed it or not, but the other time I fought a Crucible Knight, you know, he was weaker than this one. So that just means that if I had a hard time surviving the hits from the weaker version, I doubt that I'm going to survive the hits from the stronger version. And if there was like some way to bypass his armor, that would be pretty awesome. But unfortunately, I do not have a way to do that. And I'm dead. Yep. That was quick. Actually, I want to check something. Let's see. I am pretty sure that... Hey, what's this? Oh, I don't care about that. Okay, so I want to check my equipment real quick. So I do believe that the Crucible Knight is essentially immune to blood loss. Probably because he is wearing, you know, the armor, so he can't actually be cut. So, do I have... Are all of my things blood loss? Oh god, all of my things are blood loss. That's actually not good. Do I have anything that deals elemental damage? Besides that holy weapon, because the holy weapon is not going to help me here. Because he himself is a holy enemy. So yeah, it's just not going to work. So this is magic, but that's not really going to work either because he is also a... Yeah, I mean, if they use magic, chances are they're going to be resistant to magic. So, unfortunately, I am kind of using my best weapon right now, which kind of sucks. But there's just not much I can do about that. I am curious, though, as to what this is. I've never tried it. And quite frankly, I am a little bit curious. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it does. We're gonna try it out because, I mean, this is definitely not the best way to try out a new weapon, especially one like this. But we're gonna do it anyway. Damn it. Okay, so, nothing happened. It did 2 damage. So, yeah, we're not doing that. 2 damage is not something I want to fight for right now. And keep in mind that it did 2 damage against something without armor. Imagine if we tried using something like that against the Crucible Knight. It ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna fly. Crucible Knight will probably fly, as we've seen. So yeah, let's just go back to our bloodhound. Yeah, I kind of wish I had some better elemental gear. Unfortunately, I do not have stuff like that. So I'm trying to think. Is there anything that I can use here that might help? I don't really think that there is. And in addition, I I really don't think that. Oh, okay, so this is a talisman. I didn't even notice that. Interesting. I don't know what that would be for, really. You know, I don't really know its purpose. Because yeah, attracting aggressive enemies isn't really something that I want to do. Excuse me. You know, I also want to see something. I am kind of curious now. So, as we know, I need to get that other half of the medallion so that I can, you know, progress with the story. However, I want to know whether or not the Redmane Castle actually has the medallion after these bosses. Because if for whatever reason they didn't, and we had done all of this for essentially nothing, that would suck. So I do, you know, I do want to find out whether or not the other half of the medallion is here. So if I just figure out, let's see. Um, Wait, hang on. Do I not have to even fight these guys? I don't think I need to fight them. Hang on. So, here... Unless I missed something. Did I miss something? I don't know, because the way... The way that this is... Okay. I need to do a different, I need to do a different search here. Okay. Wait, what? Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. Because apparently there is another way to do this castle. And that is by starting some sort of festival. I don't know how to do the festival. I do not care about doing the festival. I care about figuring out whether or not there is the medallion after this fight. Because if there was no medallion after this fight, then that means that there was no reason for me to do this. So, I need to figure out what I need to be doing. If I need to actually fight these bosses, or if the medallion is actually located somewhere else. Alright, okay, so it's... Yeah, I'm not getting any information regarding the items that are gathered after this fight. Like, I'm not getting any information at all. So the only way to really figure out what the heck is at the end of this is to just kill these guys. Which is fairly annoying because, well, that it just means that no matter how long it takes to fight these guys, I will either be very happy or I'm going to be very upset. Unfortunately, there is no in between. Alright, and we managed to do the blood loss, which is good. There we go. Damn it, okay. I was actually doing pretty good there. And then I didn't. And then I died. I was doing good, and then I died. That tends to happen a lot here. Like, if you've noticed, I die a lot. Dying is a hobby of mine, you see. And, like, we've almost reached 50 deaths, too. Like, the crazy part about this, about these 50 deaths, is that if you were here last time for my... It was a Bloodborne stream where I was fighting the Orphan of Kos. And, you know, we got to 51 deaths in the span of 3 hours. Granted, that was usually because we were able to last a decently long time against Kos, or against the Orphan, multiple times. Here, in this fight, we're lucky to last a minute. We're like a lot of men. We don't last very long. Although there's not really much I can say about that, though. Anyways. Yep. I didn't even do damage there. That sucks. Okay. So, that is 44 times. Unfortunate. To think that we have been streaming for about an hour and a half, and we have made 0 progress so far. I mean, granted, we have killed the Misbegotten, but as every boss fight goes, no matter how much progress you make in a boss fight, if you die, well, time to restart. And it sucks. Like, I cannot imagine how that one person managed to do a god run of the From Software games. And, you know, for those of you who don't know, a god run is basically playing multiple games in a game franchise without taking damage. So, To put that in perspective, I have played multiple Resident Evil games. And for those of you who have watched it, who have watched those games, you've seen that sometimes it's pretty difficult to avoid attacks. But there are people who can. And there are people who avoid every single attack, not just in the game, but in the entire series. Now, I will say this. Resident Evil doesn't have very many dodge mechanics. There are some, but not many. Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes do have dodge mechanics. And some other installments, there is no dodge mechanic. There is, you are out of the way, or you are in the way. There is no in between. I mean, it would be easier in this fight if I was to use a build that had better vitality, because as you've seen, it takes 2 hits for them to kill me. You know, it just takes 2 hits and I'm dead. That being said, that means I would need a lot of vitality in order to actually survive. Because if, let's just assume that, you know, both hits do the same amount of damage. Well, if one attack does 80% of my health, a couple of upgrades to my vitality isn't going to make a difference. I would need to do a lot. Come on, goddamn. I couldn't get out of that. That sucks. I don't know, I might try doing something differently. Like, I might try doing something else for the time being. You know, take a break from these guys. Because, yeah, dealing with them is painstaking. Especially the Misbegotten, like, the Misbegotten is so annoying. Like, if I could fight the Crucible Knight first, and then after he dies, then I deal with the Misbegotten, I'd be fine with that. Because at least the Crucible Knight, it's you can relax a little bit more. With the Misbegotten, obviously, it's significantly more aggressive. So, like... Okay. Bro, I couldn't do anything. That was a long recovery period. Like, what the heck, though? Like, we took that one hit, and we were on the ground for a long time. Ooh. Excuse me. Goodness, I had to stretch and yawn, and that felt nice. My sinuses opened up too. Oh my goodness, I can breathe a little bit. Smell that fresh air. Although I'm inside, so I guess there's not really fresh air. I could open up the window though. That would give me some fresh air. You know, I really hope I don't have to like deal with these guys after killing them. Because, I'm sorry, but duo bosses are so annoying to deal with. Uh-oh. Yep. I don't even know how to properly dodge that attack. I think my best bet is to just defend. Reason I say that is because it is hard to dodge 2 attacks in such close succession. Because of, you know, you have to roll. You have to go through, you know, the entirety of your roll before you can roll again to dodge. I don't know though. I'm still working on that. I need to add to my death counter. 49 times is a lot. We've almost gotten to 50. To 50. This is our 50th attempt. And we have just gotten to the halfway point of the stream. So I don't think it would be too wrong to say that we might just end up getting to 100 attempts at this rate. Goddamn. Bro, what? I couldn't do anything. Goddamn. Leave me alone. Well, that was our 50th attempt. A very piss poor attempt. That sucks. Maybe 51 will be better. We'll just have to see. Cause oh my god. This guy is something. I mean, he's not so bad because we know that we can kill him. But having to fight him is still annoying. Because the thing about this is I have fought the Misbegotten 50 times. I've killed him about 3 times. I have fought the Crucible Knight about 3 times. Out of 50. So so the chance of success of defeating the Misbegotten is very low. Which is unfortunate. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm dead. Oh, I'm still alive. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. I'm like on 1 HP right now. No! No, 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 no. Are you serious? Yeah, that Crucible Knight really got in our way there. Not to mention we also missed that attack, which, as you know, if we miss the dash attack, we die. It's just an unforeseen, or not an unforeseen, it is a predictable event. It is fate. Fate has decided that if we miss the dash, well, we're gonna go into our self-built or our self-dug grave. Goddamn words. Like I said before, English might be my first and only language, but it is still the hardest language that I know. Are you serious? Huh? Wait, what? Bro, I just got one shot. How in the world? That's crazy. That's insane. I didn't even think I was gonna get hit there. But I did. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, like, you think that this special attack kind of makes you invincible. Unfortunately, it does not. It does help to dodge, because as you've seen, you know, the attack helps to, you know, go forward, make an attack, and then go back. And then you get some invisibility frames, which is also nice. But sometimes it just doesn't work. Damn. That was close. God damn. What? That's bull. And honestly, it's not like, you know, double, you know, using 2 hands, using, you know, double-handed weapons. It wouldn't actually make too much of a difference. Just because of how often I need to have my shield up. And it's not like double-handing doesn't do anything. It does increase the amount of damage you deal. But it's really only worth it against enemies that, you know, you really can't defend against. Because there are some enemies where it's just not worth having a shield for. Like the dragons, for example. There is no need to be wielding a shield against a dragon. Nice. Are you serious? Get back here. Oh, come on. No! Now I've got to deal with both of them. God damn, I can't see anything. That was stupid right there. Nah, that was blatantly stupid. There was no way I could have survived that. But hey, you know what happened? We missed the dash, so we died. Every time we miss the dash, we die shortly after. Like, I think that the, like, period of time that we die every time is within 5 seconds. Although usually I die within 2 seconds, which is a little bit more believable. But yeah, like, jeez, whenever they end up joining up, I'm pretty much dead, which kind of sucks. But yeah, that's why I try to kill this guy as soon as I can. Alright. Alright, and we got the blood loss, that's good. Uh-oh. Yep. Damn it, okay. What I probably should have done is used my special attack to at least stun him. Unfortunately, I did not really get the chance to do that. Yeah, his spin attacks are annoying. Just because, you know, he does them twice. So yeah, I mean, either you take the entire hit, you know, you take both swings and you die. You block both hits and you become staggered, or you take one and you now have to heal, or else the next attack will kill you. Pick your poison. It is very difficult to get around this boss, especially when I have to worry about the other one. Like, if I could take my time, I would, but I can't because of the Crucible Knight. Alright. There we go. Alrighty. No. Oh, come on. Really? That was stupid. But, hey, our prediction just keeps on coming true. Every time. Every time we dash and miss. Oh, I haven't even killed the Misbegotten in a while now. Like, I don't think I've killed him in like the last 20 minutes. Which kind of sucks. I am just redefining myself time and time again as the worst Elden Ring player. Because to my knowledge, I've still only killed one story character. How's the progress? Abysmal. I have not made any progress since yesterday. And I have been streaming for an hour and 40 minutes. And yes, we have not made a lick of progress. Kind of a shame. Not much I can do though. I just gotta keep throwing myself at death's door over and over again. God damn. Okay. Well, and that just happened. That is death number 57. Oh my god. You know, we're gonna get to 100 before too long. Yeah, the bad part about Hollow Knight is the fact that there are no, what are they called? There's no health bars. So you can't even see how much progress you make. The best you can do is see how aggressive enemies are being in Hollow Knight. Because I think after you deal so much damage, they start getting faster. That's the only way to tell how much damage you've dealt to a boss. There's been a couple bosses that I've gotten stuck on though in Hollow Knight, but not too many. Just being real. Okay, I didn't even deal damage that time. Yeah, the only one I've really had a lot of trouble with in Hollow Knight was the Lost Kin. Although there is one area that I am stuck on, and that is the Coliseum of Fools. I'm hoping that I can get through that, but we'll just have to see in the future when we get to that point. Because it'll be a while before we get back to Hollow Knight. But at least whenever we do get there, we can make a lot of progress regardless of what we do. Are you still stuck on the final boss? The final boss or the hidden boss? That is the question. Either way, being stuck on the final boss definitely sucks. Ow. Uh-oh. Somehow I managed to avoid that. Finally. Oh, okay. Oh, damn it. Man. I was trying to get away from him so I could heal, and that just didn't end up happening. That sucks. I want to kill this guy so bad. Like, oh my god. I want to kill the Misbegotten so I can just focus on the Crucible Knight, because the Misbegotten is so annoying to deal with. Actually, I wonder. Now I'm curious, because I have other blood loss build-up weapons. Let's look at something. If this isn't working, what if we tried this thing? I haven't used it before. I don't know how well it's gonna go. It's probably gonna go pretty bad. Yeah, this boss is very fast. And honestly, I don't think I want to use this weapon. Hang on. Oh, wait, why is he holding it like that? That's weird. Yeah, this weapon's too slow. I'm not using this weapon. Oh, let's see. I might use this one. Yeah, because this weapon is, as you can see, much faster. So obviously, it's easier to get a dodge when I need to. I am hoping that this weapon will allow me to stun lock, but we will have to see. No, it doesn't have any stun effects. Oh god. Yikes. Okay. I'm not using this weapon. It's fast, but it's not what I need. Because yes, it does have a good bit of blood loss buildup at a 60 compared to the Bloodhound's 55. Oh, that big sword? The problem with using that big sword is that I can't use a shield unless I was to lower my defense. And if I don't lower my defense, my equipment load becomes heavy, and if it becomes heavy, I cannot dodge properly, which is a big problem. So either I give up dodging properly, or I take more damage. So, yes, it does deal more base damage, but it also doesn't have blood loss buildup, which so far has proven to be a very much needed mechanic in this fight. Damn it. Here we go. Uh-oh. Damn it. I can't recover. What the heck? I hate those long recovery periods. That's so stupid. There is no reason it should take me, you know, that long to get on my feet again. Oh my god. Because, I mean, yeah, as you've seen, if I stay in that, like, position for a long time, you know, I'm basically begging to be hit at that point. Because, you know, I can't do anything. I can't recover, I can't roll, I can't even attack, you know. I just have to sit there and wait for my player character to get back on his feet. Which just really sucks. God damn. As you can see, we are doing very poorly. Because, again, I have not defeated the Misbegotten in a while. Honestly, I don't know. I do not know the progression of this game. This game has no way of knowing where you are. Or I should say, there's no way of me knowing where I'm at in the story. I don't know if this is required. I don't know if it's optional. I don't even know if the item I need after, or the item that I'm looking for is after this boss. I have no way of knowing. I've even tried looking it up and I don't get any answers. So, like I mentioned before, I'm either going to be very disappointed or very happy once this fight is done. Because I don't know anything. And yeah, most bosses are skippable because most bosses are field bosses. But even then, again, there's no way to tell whether or not a boss is mandatory until after you've defeated it. Because I don't know where the story is. Like, I've been trying my best to follow the story, but the fact that there is nothing to tell you, hey, you need to go here or here, this is how you get to here or here, you don't know. Like, I've even received a quest one time. Like, I am in a quest where I'm supposed to go and find this one lady named whatever her name is, but I don't know where she's at. I don't know what she looks like. I don't know what, you know, what she does for a living. I'm just supposed to find her. That's it. No clues, no nothing. So this game is very punishing in every sense. Damn it. I don't even know if it's Melina. I honestly don't even remember the name that I was given, just because of how just out there the quest was. All I can remember is how I got the quest, and that was by talking to that one witch back in the Three Sister Towers. But now I can't even talk to her again because she's just asleep or something. She just doesn't talk to me. You can't interact with her. And I have no idea where my friends went. I only remember one of their names, and that was Blide. He's like a wolf man or something like that. There's also a giant as well as a wizard, but I don't really have any way of contacting them, and I don't know where they are. So yeah, this game doesn't allow, it allows for too much exploration. Because I love exploring in my games, but there is such thing as too much exploration. Bro, what? Man, if I could put a bomb in her bed, I would. Trust me. Because I have, like I said, I don't know what I'm really doing. All I've really been doing is going to places that I haven't gone to before and hoping for the best. Like, don't get me wrong. This is a good game. I enjoy playing the game. But the story is terrible so far. Like, I don't even know what the story is. I woke up as a tarnished in some, like, forgotten land. And then all of a sudden, I'm in a building underground. I don't know how it happened. And for whatever reason, everyone hates me because I'm a tarnished, but I don't even know what a tarnished is. And apparently I'm the chosen one to become the Elden Lord by finding the Elden Ring. But I don't even know what an Elden Lord or an Elden Ring is. Oh, this boss is beatable. If a boss can bleed, it can die. Every boss can bleed, therefore every boss can die. It's just a matter of I need to get better at the game. Alright, here we go. Alright, we also got the blood loss on. That's good. Damn it. There we go. And of course the Crucible Knight is right there. Alright, there we go. Yes. Ah! Okay. Well, that is the first boss taken care of. Now we gotta fight the other one. Which at least it gives us a chance to, you know, breathe. But yeah, this guy is still plenty difficult. Oh, damn it. Bro, I can't. Oh my god. I was fighting two at once, yes. Now I have to go back to fighting one of them. The next boss is slower, yes. But trust me, he is still a pain in the butt. Because not only does he have insane armor, he has a shield, and he has 3 phases. Yeah, he's very tanky. He is basically the definition of a tank. Because any attack you throw at him, he's just gonna, you know, he's gonna eat that for dinner. You know, he does not care about any attack you throw at him. He's just gonna take it. There we go. Yeah, that guy has 3 phases. It's brutal. Yes! Alright. That guy's dead. Crap. Alright. That's actually the fastest that we've ever dealt with that Misbegotten, which is actually kind of cool. Alright. Yeah, I try making progress. If I don't make progress, I feel very bad. Like, it really hurts my motivation. Like, I can die 100 times against a boss, but if every previous time, but if every next time is better than the previous attempt, then I feel like that is, you know, that's a win. Because the closer you get to victory. You know? That's good. That's progress. Uh-oh. Gotta heal up. Yeah, this is the thing about the Crucible Knight, though, is that you cannot afford to have anything less than maximum health. Because he will kill you in 2 hits. And yeah, you need to be on your dodge game as well. I might actually like try switching weapons with this guy. But it is also kind of difficult considering he is, you know, despite his slow appearance, he is faster than you think. And you have to stay on top of that. Because if you do gain distance, he'll start running at you. Uh-oh. And he doesn't like you healing either. So, yeah, good luck with that. Come on! Like I said, he does not like it when you heal. Alright. I mean, it's not really wrong to say that he is basically a juggernaut. Because, yeah, he's brutal. He doesn't take a lot of damage, as you've seen, but he doesn't have a lot of health either. Because he has significantly less health than, you know, the Misbegotten, but his armor makes him like just super durable. Oh, hoy. And the thing about this guy is that he doesn't really have any weaknesses. You've just got to keep doing a little bit of damage and hope for the best. I think I am going to change my gear for him though. I'm trying to think what would be the right thing to do. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna change my armor, make it a little bit lighter. So let's see. Put it on that. Let's do that. There we go. Yep, so that's gonna make it a heavy load. Yeah, I survived for a little bit longer than I was expecting. I believe that this rapier is going to help me much better because, as you can see, it is a lot faster. And I don't have to, you know, I don't have to like try subconsciously focusing on blood loss because he isn't affected by blood loss. That's depressing. Okay. And I did forget to add the death from the last run, so I have to do that as well. Alright, 67 deaths so far. I still think that at this rate we're probably going to end up getting 100 deaths. I hope not. I don't want to die 100 times, but I mean, at this rate, that's what it's looking like it's gonna be. Alright. Get your butt back over here so I can kill you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Damn it. This isn't looking good. Crucible Knight's about to spawn in. But it doesn't matter because I'm about to die. Oh my god, I'm still alive. Whoa! How are you not staggered yet? Jesus. Finally. There we go. Now I just need to get away. There we go. Finally. Okay. That was a little bit more difficult than I was expecting. Okay. Let's see how this rapier goes. Yeah, as you can see, it doesn't deal a lot of damage, but sometimes you've just got to get that small little window. Uh-oh. Alright. Yeah, somehow I managed to survive that little onslaught there. I don't know how, but as long as we survive, we can keep going. And yeah, as you can see, it's a lot easier to hit with this weapon. Oof. That hurt. Still decent damage, but wasn't really worth it. Yeah, we'll just have to keep picking away at his health like this. That's really the only thing we can do. Alright. So far, so good. We just have to keep up the pressure. And try to stay away from getting hit, you know. Damn it. I forget that he sometimes follows up there. Come on. Oh, just out of range. Damn. Alright. Oof. I was tried to attack, but I didn't get the time. Uh-oh. That was close. Alright. Yeah, whenever he goes into his second phase, he's definitely gonna be a bit of a pain. Oof. No! Are you serious? He just one-shot us. Damn. We just got one-shotted by that guy. That's why I personally hate... What if I use an axe? I can try using an axe. I've only got one that I can use, though. Actually, I don't know if I have anything in my chest. Let me check that. Do I have anything that might be useful in there? Alright, let's see. Sort chest. Yeah, I don't have anything in my chest. So let's just check our inventory. And the only axe I have is the jawbone. The jawbone might work. It does deal more damage than the rapier. So I'll try that. And this would actually deal less damage than the jawbone. I can't even use it though, because it requires magic, or sorry, intelligence. I am kind of curious as to how much this would do though. Oh, wait, hang on. I need to... There we go. That's better. Alright, let's go try this again. We will kill the beast eventually. The beast that is the Crucible Knight. Oof. There we go. Oh god! I didn't realize he was right on top of me. Oh jeez. I'm dead. I am alive. Somehow. Somehow I am actually alive. There we go! Nice! That's what we like to see. Alright. So yeah, that does a little bit more damage than the rapier. It's a little bit slower, but hopefully, as long as we survive, we should be good. Uh-oh. Yeah, and that is one thing about this, any weapon that isn't Pierce, is that it's a little bit harder to hit. You know, in addition to this weapon being smaller, the targeting isn't as good. Cause yeah, like with a piercing weapon, your targeting is almost like pinpoint, but with any weapon that you have to swing, not so much. So you just really have to, you kind of have to know what you're doing. I'm not saying that I do. Like, half of the time I don't even know what I'm doing. But sometimes you can't just hit right away after the dodge. You have to wait a couple frames to adjust your position, and then you can hit. Whew. I mean, I can change to long but light weapons, which is what that rapier was. But I am trying the jawbone axe, seeing if it makes a difference. I am curious as to what those claws would do, though. Because they are a lighter weapon. Damn it! Why? I hate it when he attacks during the healing. Woo! Haha. Okay. Here we go. Now we can try both weapons. So yeah, let's use these claws first. Let's see how that goes. Damn it. If I can manage to land a hit, because these claws have even less range. Oh, that's only 27. That's worse than the rapier. I'm not using it. Sorry. While it might be fast, it's not worth it. That damage is terrible. Oh, shoot! Okay, we're good. We're fine. Yeah, you can change your weapon mid-fight, but you have to be very careful. Honestly, you shouldn't do it. You really should never do it. Because I almost died doing it. Granted, there are people who are quick with it. But it's just not recommended. Oof. Who knows, at this rate we might just get him to phase 2. I would love to get him to phase 2 because that's progress. Damn it. Alright. Like, we're doing okay right now, but our flasks are doing pretty terrible. Because every time he lands a hit, we have to heal. We don't have a choice. Or else we will die on the next hit. Oh no! How did we get hit? What the heck? Damn it. That sucks. And like I said before, I have no way of knowing what my reward will be after this fight because, you know, people don't like giving you the information you want. I do not have unlimited healing. I can only heal 9 times in a fight. And I don't even think I have a talisman that helps me heal either. I mean, I have one that constantly regenerates HP. That slowly restores HP. But I would have to... Let's see. I mean, it might work. We'll try it out. But it also lowers our strength. No, I mean, 9 is decent. But keep in mind that if I miss one dodge, I have to heal. I don't have a choice. So basically, I can only get hit a total of 10 times. If I get hit any more than 10 times, that's luck. Because on the 10th time that I get hit, I'm dead. And this isn't including my shields either. Like, I mean, I can take a hit with the shield, but that's about it. And I'm heavy right now. Damn it! I didn't even realize that I had a heavy load. That's not good. Crap. God damn. Yeah, so I ended up getting a heavy load and I didn't even notice that. I made sure to pay attention to that, but somehow it managed to get past me. So I have to change my charms again, or my talismans, because I cannot fight with a heavy load. I can't do it. You know, dodging becomes almost non-existent. And since, you know, you can only move so far with a heavy load, it pretty much means you have to dodge, like, forever, which is kind of terrible. Yeah, we have a heavy load. I didn't even notice that. So, yeah, we gotta go back to using that. You know, that's fair. Sometimes I feel like screaming in this fight because sometimes it is completely bogus. Like, this fight feels just very redundant. Nice, okay. We got blood loss and we've got the counter, which is good. Uh-oh. Alright, we managed to avoid that. Didn't avoid that, though. Bro, lock on. Damn it! Jesus. As you see, sometimes the fight just doesn't go your way either, in terms of the game. Oh, cool. My new order has shipped. Delivery date on the Thursday. That's awesome. So yeah, once those get here, I only have 2 more computer parts to buy, which should take about 2 more paychecks, so in total, Actually, I get another paycheck tomorrow. I don't know if it's tomorrow or Thursday. Either way. Um, so in like maximum of 2 days, I'll be able to get another computer part. So, let's see, 2 weeks. So in about 3 weeks or so, you know, maybe another week. So in about maximum 4 weeks, I will have all of my computer parts, and then we can really have some fun with streams. Like, I'm trying my best to make streams as fun and entertaining as possible with my limited resources. Um, but hopefully, with the computer, I can give our stream a major upgrade. What computer parts am I getting? Thursday, I'm getting another fan, a CPU cooler, as they call it. The next thing I'm going to be getting, I don't know if I'm going to be getting the motherboard or the memory. I haven't decided on that yet. Regardless, they are some expensive pieces of equipment. No! Damn it. Yep, I missed that attack, and that definitely messed me up there. But yes, coming in the mail will be another fan, as well as some thermal paste. And then later on down the line is the RAM and a motherboard. And then after that, I can start building my PC. This is the first time I've actually, like, this is probably, once the computer is built, it will likely be my most single expensive thing that I own. Because quite frankly, I'm not gonna individually price everything. Oh yeah, well, the motherboard was this much, so I'm just gonna add that to the, total cost of the CP. And just call the CP collectively as the most valuable thing that I own. Which is probably how it works for most CPU users, God damn, really? Jesus. Oh, your dad just built you one? That's cool. Well, that's good. No lag is kind of what you want for a PC. I'm hoping that my PC ends up coming out right, because this is the first time I've built one. I hope that it works out nicely. If not, I'm going to be sad. But it should work. Yeah, you definitely don't want it to overheat. That is why you want a lot of fans, as well as a nice cool area to store it in. Alright. Well, that didn't work. Bro, I couldn't even recover. You're gonna roar, and I can't even do anything about it. It's like, oh my god. Oi. If you couldn't tell, I'm getting a little frustrated. Just a little bit. But it does not look like we are going to hit 100 attempts. Mostly because, like, once we defeat the Misbegotten, we last a long time. It's just that I can't do much because I can only do, like, one hit every, like, 10 seconds or so against the Crucible Knight, which kind of sucks. Yes, you do have to be careful about dust. I mean, dust is really your only issue with CPUs, So as long as you take care of the dust, you'll be fine. All you really need for that is just one of those pressurized air cans. You know, just do a little bit of that and you should be fine. You don't have to do it often though. Mainly because if something is constantly in motion, it's not going to pick up as much dust. Granted, you shouldn't be using your computer 24/7. You don't want to overwork it. I mean, it's not easy to overwork a CPU. Or I should say a computer, not a CPU. But there is such thing as using it too much, you know? Just like my PlayStation. You know, I give it time to just be off. You know, I don't always let it run, or I don't only put it in rest mode. You know, you've actually got to let your devices turn off. Got to give it time to rest. Damn it! That's not what I meant to do! God damn. That sucks. So we have died 76 times. We have gone over 3/4 of the way to 100. I still don't think we'll be able to get to 100 before we hit 3 hours. But it is possible, simply depending on how quickly the Misbegotten kills us. But hopefully that doesn't happen, because that would suck. Honestly, I was not expecting to take this long against these bosses, because I have fought both of these bosses before. I don't know why I'm having such trouble against the Misbegotten, because, again, the Misbegotten was one of the first enemies that not one of the first enemies, one of the first bosses that I ever fought. I think that I think the reason why I'm having so many issues is because of my lack of health. But that's nothing I can really change at this point. If I freed 10 grubs after this fight, I'd actually be upset. The reason being is because if I don't get what I need after this area, I'm not gonna have any clue as to where I need to go. I mean, the best I can assume is, you know, somewhere up here, which will give it time. Okay, here we go. Somewhere up here. You know, I have to go to this little monolith to get the map of the area. But if what I need is not here, it is somewhere else, that's gonna mean that I don't know where to go. Because I am hoping, I'm praying that the reward for killing these bosses is what I need to progress the story. But again, I have no way of actually knowing whether or not it is. Oh, okay, so apparently you're invulnerable during that time. And that hurt. God damn. Oh, hello. Oh, God. Sorry, I didn't mean to be loud there. I was not expecting... I didn't even notice the Crucible Knight was on the screen. Like, I just saw him out of the corner of the screen, and I panicked. Jesus. Oh my God. This is why killing the Misbegotten brings me so much joy. Because fighting the Crucible Knight is a little bit more, I guess, relaxing. Because he's not aggressive. Like, fighting aggressive enemies is, like, my most difficult challenge. I mean, even in Bloodborne, like, especially with Bloodborne actually, because in there, like, every enemy is not the same size as you, so you can't stun lock it like you can here. But in Bloodborne, every enemy is freaking massive. Okay. Yes, every enemy is pretty massive, so you know, you can't really do much there. You just have to keep attacking it as it's winding up to attack you, basically. But I mean, even then, as you've seen, there are some times when you'll be hitting this Misbegotten, and you know, it just takes the hits. You know, it doesn't get staggered or anything. Ban in-game action. Well, that means for a period of time, I am not able to do a certain thing. So you could tell me that I am not able to use a certain weapon, I am not able to go a certain direction. You could even tell me not to press a certain button. You know, you could do all those kind of things. Although it's only for 5 minutes, you do have to keep that in mind. Because in times like this, 5 minutes is a long time. Like if you told me I was unable to attack, or I was unable to use basic attacks for the entirety of a fight, it would make these fights very brutal for the next 5 minutes. Alright. Oh, why are you running? Uh-oh. Yep. There was nothing I could have done there. Alright, 80 deaths so far. 80 attempts. And honestly, I feel like we haven't even made that much progress. Mostly because of this Misbegotten. This Misbegotten is a pain in the butt. Excuse me. You know, at the start of the stream, I didn't even know that I was going to be fighting two bosses. So, yeah. And what sucks is that I've only fought the Crucible Knight a handful of times. Like, you can't even count it on both hands. Which kind of sucks. Okay. There we go. Are you serious? Damn it. Oh god, and he's right here. Okay, I need to get out of here. Are you? Come on. Oh my god, I'm gonna scream. I am going to scream my lungs out. Lay them out on the floor. And take a pretty picture of them. Anyways, play as the streamer. That means that for, I believe, 15 minutes, no, for 30 minutes, You get to tell me what to do. You can tell me to, go to this location. You can tell me to run around in circles. Basically, you control what I do for 30 minutes. And I cannot stop you from it. Unless, of course, it is time to end the stream. If I get to the time when I usually end stream, then, you know, that will take priority over that. It's like right now you could do it if you wanted to, but if we were at say like 2 hours and 50 minutes, um, that's just going to take even longer for me to, end the stream, and I wouldn't really want to do that. God damn. Bro, get up. Really? Oh my goodness. Gotta love it when you don't deal a single point of damage against these guys. But yes, you will need to save up a lot of points in order to do that one. Although you'll need to save up even more points if you wanted to request yourself to be banned from the stream, or from the channel, I mean, or even to shut the stream down, because you could do that as well. You could tell me to stop streaming if you've saved up 500,000 points. Alright. I can't believe we've been doing this fight for as long as we have. Like, it's insane. Nice. I'm surprised we actually managed to hit that. I think I have it set to where even if you are banned, you can watch the streams. You just can't comment on them. Or sorry, you can't go into the chats. So don't worry. You'll still be able to give plenty of love to the stream. Oh god! Why are you both here? Ah! No! God damn. Oh, really? Alright, that's another death. Yes, it is a perma ban. That is why I also put in, I think it's in the description, let me check. Actually, I can't even see. Give me just a moment here so I can check. Let's see. Yes, so in the description, it even says don't do it because it is a perma ban. Okay, you gotta go. Alright. Well, have fun with your quiz today. No cheating. Cheating is not good. Don't cheat. But you have fun with school. You have fun with your test. I hope you ace it. Yeah, if you cheat, I will ban you. We don't allow cheaters here. Unless you're cheesing a fight. I don't mind that. You can cheese the fight. Because that's not cheating. That is exploiting the game mechanics to its best potential. Oh, you studied? Good. Good on you for studying. God damn. I keep dying in the same way. Is that what they call insanity? When you do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. I'm going insane, that's for sure. I don't know if I am insane yet, but I'm definitely getting there. Because, oh my god. Okay. It's actually starting to get kind of hot in here. Mostly because there is a hot laptop on my lap while I have a blanket on me. You glance at your notes and call it a day. That's not studying. No, you was studying. You actually gotta remember things. You gotta commit it to memory. Although I'm not gonna tell you how to study because I never studied. I studied once, and I really got nowhere with it because apparently that test I studied for, everyone failed. Everyone failed the test that I studied for, which tells you a lot about the teacher. If all of your students fail your test, you have failed as a teacher. Like that, it's not even the fact that all the students failed. It's the fact that they were not able to accomplish your task. All right, you're going. All right. We'll see you later. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be streaming at a little bit later than usual. So, hope to see you then. All right. I always forget that school exists too. Like, I haven't gone to school in how old am I? I haven't gone to school in a while. God damn. Kind of forgot how old I was for a second. Because after you reach a certain age, it no longer matters how old you are. Like, once you reach 21 years of age, you no longer have to care how old you are. Because you can basically do whatever you want. The only exception to that is you cannot run for president until I believe 35 years of age, if I remember correctly. But, well, I ain't running for president, so I don't give a damn. No! Are you serious? Why did you jump during that attack? You've gotta be kidding me. Oh, look at that. I just got an update for my next schedule. I'll have to check that later. Actually, I can just check it now. Hang on. I can check it now and tell you guys how my streaming schedule is going to be, because I basically schedule my streams depending on how my work week is. Alrighty. Okay, so it's pretty much the same as usual. You know, Friday to Tuesday. That's pretty much how it always works. And actually, not next week, starting on the 21st, I'll be getting some decent hours that week, so that's pretty cool. Not a lot exactly, but it's more than I usually get, so that's nice. And what's also nice to see is that I am going back to having 2 days off per pay period. Excuse me. And that is awesome, because it has been a while since I was able to have 2 days off in a row. Like today I do work today. I don't know why I said today so many times. I work again today. And thankfully I have tomorrow off. I've even told my boss, I'm not coming in tomorrow. I'm not coming in Thursday. It's not going to happen. Because in the past 33 days, including today, excuse me, I have only had 2 days off. So I have almost worked, 31 days. Which, granted, I haven't worked 31 days straight, but it certainly feels like it. Like, in all honesty, it feels like I have worked an entire month straight. And it's not fun. Especially since I don't actually get that many hours at work. It's more of the lack of, a break. Oh, that was close. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. I'm gonna throw my controller out the window. Oh my god. Like, why do I always die to that attack? Like, it's always that double spin attack. That's where I die. Every time. It's so stupid. It's actually kind of crazy how often we end up dying to that attack. Like, I bet if I was to have some sort of, like, table or a pie chart or something to keep track of what method I died by, I believe like 75% of our deaths would be from that double spin attack. It's crazy. Then again, I will say there's no point in doing a single spin attack because people expect you to only do one. So doing two allows you to cover, you know, that little mistake that people make. Crap! Oh, somehow I avoided that. And I died to the roar. Okay. That's something else we can add to the pie chart. That is 2 times now that we died to the roar. We've died 88 times. You know, actually, we might actually end up hitting 100 deaths. My god, before 3 hours. So we have about 15 minutes of the stream left. Which does remind me, I do want to raid someone today. So if you guys have anyone who you would like to raid today, you know, let me know. And, you know, we can see how they are. I'm gonna be raiding someone else who's playing Elden Ring. It's been a while since we raided someone else who isn't Calanthe. So I think it's time to raid someone different. Not to mention Calanthe doesn't stream on Tuesdays, so I couldn't even raid her if I wanted to. God damn. That was crazy. What are you doing all the way over there? Somehow I avoided that attack. That's crazy. There we go. Nice. Damn it. Yeah, now I've got to recover. Oof. That was close. Damn it. Uh-oh. Oh, no! Are you serious? Freaking Crucible Knight. This is why I said I need to kill the Misbegotten ASAP. And sometimes that just doesn't happen. Because, yes, he will sneak up on you. And the crazy thing is that he doesn't even run half the time. Half the time he just walks up to you. And he completely ruins your day. Like, the fact that I've spent almost 3 hours on this alone is crazy. I have noticed that is kind of a trend lately. Is that I have been spending a lot of time on bosses. I mean, in Bloodborne, we spent 5 hours on Ludwig. We've gotten to 7 hours on Orphan of Kos, and we still haven't even beaten him yet. With these two, we've been doing it for almost 3 hours. And then in Hollow Knight, we fought the Lost Kin. I don't remember how long exactly, but I believe it was about 2 hours, which honestly isn't too long considering. But yeah, our boss fight times have become very long lately. Like, so long to the point where I almost don't want to fight bosses because it takes so long to fight them. But if I don't fight the bosses, I can't progress. So that kind of what keeps me going. I will say this again. I know I've said it a lot of times, but if I don't get what I need after this fight, I am going to be okay. I'm going to be very unhappy. And that makes, what, 3 times in a row now that we just haven't done any damage to the Misbegotten? Or was it only 2 times? As you can see, we are definitely getting very sloppy, which is not good. But at this point, you know, we are getting towards the end of the stream, so there's no real reason to go off and try doing something else and come back. Mainly because even if we do kill the Misbegotten, it's still going to take us a really long time to defeat the Crucible Knight. So even if we did, you know, defeat the Misbegotten on this run, you know, I don't think that we would have enough time. Or sorry, I don't think that we have. Yeah, I don't think that we would have enough time to do another attempt before the 3-hour mark. Damn it! I need to stagger you. There we go. Oh, come on! Are you serious? At least he's dead now. That was stupid. I'm actually surprised I managed to defeat the Misbegotten this time. I was not expecting to say the least. Yeah, I don't want this there. It's very distracting. Okay. Oh, and I missed, of course. That's okay, though. Ooh, 105? That's nice. We like to see those numbers. We like those numbers. Uh-oh. Whoops. My bad. Yeah, you see that as soon as we healed, or as soon as we started to heal, he decided to start running. Yeah, he does not like it when we heal. Oy. Oof. Oh, I could have made another attack there. Yeah, 105 is actually decent damage against this guy, considering how heavy his defense is. So yeah, 105 is very nice to see. Who knows? We might even get him to phase 2. Wouldn't that be awesome? Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, and it sucks that I can't block the shield bash, but it also makes sense because, well, in a real world setting, you would not block an attack like that because it will knock you on your butt. And I mean, a shield bash, the purpose of a shield bash is to break your defense. Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, now he's going in for the kill. I can't move! Oh god. That was scary. That was kind of scary right there. Yeah, and I don't want to do any shield counters, or sorry, block counters as they're called, because it leaves me very open to an attack, and this guy already does a lot of damage, so I don't want to risk that. Damn it. Alright. Nice. Uh-oh. Damn it. Gotta get out of here. Gotta get out. Alright, there we go. We're still alive. That's what matters. As long as we're alive, we can keep going, right? Uh-oh. I'm about to be not alive in a second. As you guys can see, this guy is obviously not as aggressive as the Misbegotten, but he is just as brutal. Alright, phase 2. This is only the second time we've managed to pull this off. Uh-oh, yep, I forgot about that. I forgot about his tail. Damn it. Yeah. That was, yep. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say is yeah. That sucked. That sucks. All that work got him almost down to 50% health, and then we died. That is fate for you. But at this rate, we would not end up getting to 100 deaths, which would be cool to see. But yeah, we spent a long time on that fight, which meant that, you know, we were not able to accomplish 100 deaths in 3 hours. We definitely could have, you know, if we had kept running back into the fight, but sometimes we were changing our equipment, seeing what worked better. And alas, nothing really changed. But we are getting better, I think. I think we're slowly getting better. Perhaps tomorrow, when we play this again, we can make some better progress. Who knows? Maybe even kill them. I will be able to stream for longer tomorrow. That does not necessarily mean I'm going to be fighting them for a very long period of time, you know, straight. You know, if I spend 2 hours on those guys tomorrow, I'm gonna go and do something else for a little bit, you know, give myself some time to relax and to do something else. And then, you know, we'll go fight them again. But hopefully, we can conquer that fight before too long. Aside from that, tomorrow, again, we are streaming Elden Ring. It'll be an hour later than what we usually do. And we will be streaming for as long as we want, because, again, I have a day off. Let's see, what else is there? Again, I am almost done building, or almost done acquiring all the parts needed for my computer, and we will be building that soon. Hopefully, by the end of December, I will have a very good setup going on, and our streams will be much better. But I believe that's pretty much everything for today. So let us go and check out someone to raid. Alright. Yeah, hopefully we can find someone who is around where, or maybe not even around where we are, but who is also, you know, potentially behind us. And yeah, preferably someone who also speaks English, because we do want that. Come on. Yeah, the filtering on the raids isn't as good as I would like, but it's what we got. So what the heck? Why didn't? There we go. Okay. I searched up English, and one of the first people that I get is someone in Spanish. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, and there's someone else with French, which is also not English. For those of you who do not know, I'm just trying to find someone who, is around the area that we are, or even behind. I think I might have found someone. I believe that this person is behind us in terms of progress. So, because I noticed that their map is significantly smaller than ours. So I think that that's what we will be doing. I think we're going to raid this person. This person is Miyuki. Very interesting name, very unique name. All right. Actually, how big is this person? How big is their audience? Because I like to rate a small person. I like rating the smaller channels. All right. Oh, wow. They certainly have quite a lot of followers. At least they have a lot more than us. But they don't have very many viewers. You know what? We'll go on and raid them anyways. Why not? All right. So Miyuki, we will start the raid there. And for those of you who want to watch, go on and check them out. I am sure that they will enjoy it. All right. But anyways, thank you all for watching again. I'm sorry that we didn't make a whole lot of progress today. We honestly didn't make any progress at all. All we did was get our butts kicked 92 times, mostly in the same way every time. But hey, as long as we have fun, that's what matters, right? And sometimes I have fun even in my death. So I think we still accomplished something, even if we didn't accomplish anything. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and to the people watching the VOD, thank you for watching that as well. I hope to see you all again tomorrow when we continue with Elden Ring. Again, we will be streaming a little bit later than usual, but for as long as we want. Thank you all for coming, and I hope you all have a good day, a good night, or a good afternoon. No matter where y'all are, I hope you're all having a great time.